Hello everyone, I'm David Celdran, your quiz master, and welcome to the quiz show that's bringing curiosity and knowledge back on television. That's right, this is Bilyonaryo Quiz B, the college edition. And we're now at the halfway point of the first season. And that means only one thing. We're just a few weeks away now from our first grand finals and that life-changing cash prize of 1 million pesos for our college champion. Okay, today we have a thrilling new lineup of contestants eager to showcase their intellect and compete for cash prizes and a spot in our upcoming semifinals. So let's say hello to them. Let's begin with contestant number 1. She's a 21-year-old secondary education student majoring in science from the Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University. She is a consistent D's lister also serves as treasurer of her local Sangguniang Kabataan, or SK, combining academic excellence with youth leadership and community service. A model student, you might call her. So everyone, please welcome Dimsu's Krischelle Arellano. Come in, Krish. Hello. Yeah, take your position. It's okay to say Dimsu, right? Let's go to our next contestant. That's right. A 22-year-old computer engineering senior, he stands out for his sharp analytical mind, his love for strategy games, and deep interest in technology and in problem solving. Exactly the skills we're looking for today in our quiz. So put your hands together for University of Baguio's Vicson Yaris. Hello, Vic. Please, take your position. Vic is from the University of Baguio. Let's meet our final contestant. Contestant number 3, we have a 23-year-old geology senior who is also a former National Quiz B champion in science and technology. So contestant number 3 has held leadership roles in multiple organizations in UP and is driven by a passion for understanding natural disasters, but also a passion for winning at Dota and at Counter-Strike. So everyone, give it up for UP Diliman's Alan, Gabriel, Fetalvo. Come in, Gabby. Hello. All right, that's so Counter-Strike of you. All right, Gabby, Vic, Krish. All right, just take a deep breath because we'll be starting our first round in a short while. But first, this is a fantastic combination of contestants representing the best schools in Northern Luzon and of course in Manila. So ladies and gentlemen, let's see them make their universities proud. But before we start, let's first clarify the rules of our elimination round. Let's listen in to the rules.
Today's elimination episode will consist of 3 rounds of collegiate-level questions. The first 2 rounds will cover history, science and technology, arts and literature, math and logic, geography and nature, and general information. Contestants must listen very carefully as I read each question out loud. Remember, only the viewers at home have the benefit of reading them on screen. After round 2, the contestants with the highest score will advance to the final bonus round, while 2 with the lowest scores will be eliminated. Let's break down the mechanics of round 1. There are 12 questions worth 1,000 pesos each. The first contestant to buzz gets to answer. Correct answers earn points, while incorrect answers give the remaining opponents a chance to steal. Let's see who can outsmart and outbuzz their opponents in round 1 of the Bilyonaryo Quiz B.
All right, those are the rules. Now, remember contestants, after buzzing in, you have to wait for me to acknowledge you first as a person who buzzed first, okay? Otherwise, you run the risk of giving away your answers for free to the person who actually buzzed first, or you also miss your chance to steal, all right? That is the penalty for making that mistake. Of course, if you answered first, you buzzed first, and you answered first, we'll consider that. Anyway, so are you ready? Again, as I said, you always have to take a deep breath, relax the mind, and let's begin with our first round. And this question begins with history. Listen in. What is the popular name of the military uprising at Fort San Felipe in 1872 that led to the execution of the Gomburza? The name of that uprising. The Gomburza part is the easy part, but what's the name of the uprising? Anyone? All right, maybe you might have forgotten in your high school textbooks. It was the Cavite Mutiny, or the 1872 Cavite Mutiny, which historians say sparked, that was the major spark of the Philippine independence movement, okay? And of course, we all know Gomburza as fathers, Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora. Remember that. Next question. Question number 2. This one is in science and technology. You're all good in science and tech. So in chemistry, what is the heaviest naturally occurring element by mass? Vic?
Osmium?
No. Krish?
Uranium.
You are correct, Krish. It is uranium. Would you know the atomic number of uranium? It's 92.
92.
And the atomic weight would be, which is why it's heaviest, is 238 daltons, approximately. Okay, that was a tough one. Krish, that's pretty good. Let's go to our next question. Arts and literature. What magical creature resides on the so-called Piedras Platas in Mount Tabor? Krish?
Ibong Adarna.
Yes, it is the Ibong Adarna. The Adarna bird. From the early 19th century epic poem, Filipino epic poem. You know the author of this? It was never established. It was never established. Unknown authorship. All right, next question. Number 4 in math and logic. This is a picture quiz, which means you'll be looking at our screens for a clue based on the visuals we're going to show you. All right? But here is another clue. In geometry, what two-word fundamental rule or principle is illustrated in this diagram or this picture? Krish?
Pythagorean theorem.
Yes, it is a Pythagorean theorem. Wow, Krish, you're crushing it, Krish. But of course, Vic, Gabby is still very early in the game. It's only question number 4. We move on to question number 5. Remember, 1,000 points for every correct answer. A lot of time to catch up with our front runner, Krish, who gave that correct answer. Pythagorean theorem, or the Pythagorean equation. Some might also say Pythagoras' theorem, based on the Greek philosopher Pythagoras. Okay, next question. Geography and nature. What weather phenomenon was so named by fishermen in South America who observed its tendency to arrive usually around Christmas time? Vic?
Habagat.
Habagat is not correct. Krish?
Hurricanes.
No. Gabby, all yours.
Christmas time. La Nina.
Too bad. El Nino. The male counterpart, El Nino. What weather phenomenon was so named by fishermen in South America who observed its tendency to arrive around Christmas time?
South America.
Yes.
Oh.
Not in Asia.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, that's where you got it confused. Kala mo Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
right? La Nina would have been in Southeast Asia, but of course in South America it's the opposite, and that's why El Nino, nativity, baby, Christmas time. All right. Let's go to our next question. General information. In 2006, the Oxford English Dictionary officially added this word as a verb, meaning to digitally manipulate an image. What popular word is this? Vic?
Deepfake.
No, not deepfake. Gabby?
Photoshop.
You are correct. It's Photoshop. 1,000 points for you. Today we use it in everyday language. Oy, Photoshop mukha niya, di ba? Or whatever. No, it's a Photoshop, which sometimes is the reason why we have deepfakes, because of Photoshop. So very close, Vic. Next question. History. What famous European landmark was built in 1961 that lasted only 28 years? Only 28 years. European landmark. Gabby, try.
Berlin Wall.
Yes, it's Berlin Wall. It was a notorious European landmark, not one of those celebrated landmarks. More like a reminder of authoritarianism, totalitarianism, so on and so forth. Next question. Science and technology. What astronomer was the first to use a telescope to search the skies? Vic?
Galileo Galilei.
Correct. Galileo Galilei. You knew this, Krish, but Vic was faster to the bottom. Let's go to our next question. Arts and literature. The famous Batad rice terraces of the town of Banaue in Ifugao province are featured in the ending scene of what 2018 Marvel film? Gabi,
Avengers Infinity War.
you are correct. Avengers Infinity War. I never saw that film, but I know about that scene. So would you imagine, in the end of the scene, a famous Philippine landmark, very close to where you live, Vic, very close to Baguio. But maybe you didn't watch that film. Or you just forgot. Okay, next question. Question number 10, math and logic. You'll have to solve for this, whether it's to your mind alone or with the pens and papers we gave you, and I'll read it twice to give you time. A car's gas tank is 3/4 full. After consuming 12 liters, it was now half full. Kalahati na lang. What is the capacity of the gas tank? Gabby?
48 liters.
How? 48? That's correct. 48. 12 divided by 1/4 is equal to 48. You arrive at 1/4 by 3/4 minus 1/2 is equal to 1/4. Very quick, Gabby, and you are correct. Let's go to question number 11, second to the last one in our round 1. Geography and nature. What is a 13-letter word for the physical changes that occur when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly? Gabby.
Metamorphosis.
Yes, 13 letters, metamorphosis. That was an easy one, but you were first, Gabby. You have 5,000 points. You're now currently in the lead. Krish, you're in second place with 3,000. That's very close. And Vic, also very close with 1,000 points. You're all doing so well. All right, this now is our last question for round number 1. And it's in general information. I hope you know this. Invented in 1958, what popular toy, laruan, toy, relies on centripetal force and friction to maintain its circular motion around a person's waist? Vic.
Hula hoop.
Yes, it is the hula hoop. It's 1,000 points for you. And wow, this is turning out to be a really tight competition. Gabby's in the lead, of course, with 5,000 points. Krish is in second place with 3,000 points. And Vic so close behind Krish and Gabby with 2,000 points. I say close because in our next round, it's 2,000 pesos or points for every correct answer, which means any one of you could move on and become, of course, our semi-finalist. And of course, move on to the bonus round to take home even more cash prizes. So everyone, this competition is really heating up. We'll have the rest of it when Bilyonaryo Quiz B's knockout round continues right after this break. Welcome back to Bilyonaryo Quiz B, the quiz show where trivia-loving college superstars can let their brilliance shine bright. We've got a critical round 2 coming up, but before that, let's shine the spotlight on some things that you may want to know about our contestants today, starting with Krish over here. So Krish, yeah, I have to say it right, Dimsu, right? That's how it's said? Dimsu. Otherwise, you have to say Don Mariano, Marmas Memorial State University. So Dimsu yung nickname niya, yung shorter name niya. Okay, so welcome to Manila. I know that's all the way in Bacnota in La Union.
Thank you.
And how was your stay at the hotel last night?
It's good po. The hotel is very nice. So we were able to sleep so comfortable.
That's right. Thanks so much to Park Inn by Radisson North EDSA for providing our out-of-towners with a place to stay for the night. Of course, Krish, what I really want to ask you is, because you're so involved both in academics and in community service with the SK, for example, is there one thing about your experience in the SK that has changed your mind about being a youth leader, leaders in general, the country in general?
So being an SK treasurer is tough work for us students kasi we have to balance work as well as in the academe. So kailangan po namin talagang time management. And so with that experience, tapos we have a program every year na namimigay po ng school supplies for the students. So as a treasurer, I have to really binatin yung budget. And with that,
Wow, a full-time job na yan, eh? It's like a government position, which it actually is, right?
Yeah. It's tough, but it's fulfilling in my part kasi I'm learning on how to manage monies as well as on how to lead and yan.
And I think you must also add, it's also your chance as a young leader to learn how to be honest with money, with public funds, right? And that's the best way to start as SK. All right, let's go to Vic over here, who's also an out-of-towner, also spent the night over at the hotel. And Vic, of course, is from the University of Baguio and spent most of his time in Baguio. But what I find interesting about your youth, Vic, is that one of the reasons why you got into computer engineering is because your fascination with dismantling, deconstructing mechanical objects and toys. Is that right?
Yes. When I was a kid, my parents bought me a RC toy, but like 3 days after owning it, I dismantled it. And so because I was curious how was the mechanisms, how the controller sends the signal and everything like that. And my parents got mad at me because it's a new toy and they said, "Oh, ba't mo sinisira yan? Kabibili lang namin." And I defended na, "Oh, I want to know what's inside." But that's it.
And now they're happy you actually dismantled that toy. Kasi ngayon, magiging computer engineer ka na, no? And thank you to, of course, that young experience where you had to dismantle this remote-controlled car. It was a car, right? That's right. So thank you so much, Vic. All right, and another guy here who's fond of toys and games is Gabby from UP Diliman. The lighter side of Gabby, of course, apart from his upcoming career in geosciences and geology in particular, is you're this like how many hours have you spent on Dota alone in Counter-Strike?
For Dota alone, it's 5,500. For Counter-Strike, it's 1,000. So combined, it's 6,500.
Okay. So were your parents concerned also? Mag-aral ka naman.
No, they were letting me play as much as I
because
can.
it's interesting. There's a school of thought that believes that video games actually,
Yes.
one of the upsides of video games, the downside being distraction and all that stuff, is that it also trains your mind in a certain way. How does it help you?
Because in playing the video games like Dota 2, you don't win by just pressing all the buttons. You have to think of the process to win, what are your winning conditions, and you associate everything. And that's how it helped me like in quiz Bs and stuff, because some of the questions from round 1, I don't even know those questions. I just extrapolated from the data and I associated it with the knowledge that I already have, and then I guessed, and some of them were correct. And
Okay,
some
wow.
were.
That's quick thinking, right? Not book knowledge. It's actually analytical, critical thinking. All right,
can
thank
say
you so
that.
much, Gabby. As Gabby said, Krish, Vic, it's not a matter of just pressing the buttons all the time. In Quiz B, you gotta know the answers, because I'm gonna warn you. Remember, wait for me to acknowledge you first before you press the button and before you give the answer. I mean, when you press the button and give the answer, okay? Otherwise, you forfeit your chance to steal. And of course, before we go to our next round, apart from that particular rule, let's listen to the other rules that govern our final round. Listen in.
In round 2, the game mechanics remain the same, but the questions are now more difficult and worth 2,000 pesos each, except for the Bilyonaryo Booster question, which is worth an exciting 4,000 pesos. No wagers, no penalties, just a big-time boost to get our contestants nearer the Bilyonaryo Quiz B finish line. At the end of this round, the 2 contestants with the lowest scores will be eliminated, leaving one weekly winner to advance to the bonus round and a slot in the semifinals. If round 2 ends in a tie, the game goes into a sudden death tiebreaker, where the first contestant to answer correctly wins. So get ready, contestants. May the Bilyonaryo Quiz B odds be in your favor.
All right, take a deep breath, focus. Let's start round number 2, slightly more difficult questions with a question in history, in particular young achievers. In 2014, what teenager was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for championing the right of every child to receive an education? Who was this Nobel Peace Prize laureate, winner? Krish, as an educator, I was hoping you'd know this. Her name was Malala Yousafzai.
Oh my God. Sayang.
Now you know.
Yes.
Malala Yousafzai, only 17 years old, Pakistani national, youngest ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, and that was for education. Next question. For 2,000 points, this is in science and technology, the human body. What is a common name for the unwanted feature on the face, medically known as a periorbital hematoma?
Mole.
Krish, mole is wrong. That is coming from Gabby.
Warts.
Warts, also wrong. Vic?
Blackheads.
Mole, warts, blackheads, they're all cosmetic issues. No, this is a hematoma, like a bruise, okay? It's like black eye, a black eye. Sa Tagalog, itim na mata. You could have also used, in the slang, shiner, raccoon eye. The hematoma is a key word there, okay? Periorbital hematoma. Remember that next time someone punches you in the face and you get a black eye. Okay, next question. Arts and literature, Philippine culture. The main theater of the Cultural Center of the Philippines is named after what composer renowned for his kundiman songs?
Ray Valera.
Vic, Ray Valera is not correct. Krish,
Levi Celerio.
that's also wrong. At least they're all composers, but we're looking for one in particular. Gabby, can you connect the dots as you said? You don't know the answer, but can you connect the dots? All right, Nicanor Abelardo. The Nicanor Abelardo Theater, or the main theater of the CCP, is named after the very composer who composed songs like Mutya ng Pasig, Nasaan Ka Irog, Bituing Marikit. Never heard? Now you know him. Nicanor Abelardo. Next question. Still for 2,000 points, statistical terms. In statistics, what do you call the middle value in a... Gabby?
Median.
Median is the correct answer. What do you call the middle value in a data set that has been arranged from least to greatest? I guess that's where the Dota comes in, right? The Counter-Strike. Mabilis sa buzzer si Gabby. Krish knew that as well, maybe even Vic. But of course, I wasn't done with my question yet. Let's go to our next question. Question number 5, natural extremes. This is in geography and nature. More than 36,000 feet down in the Marianas Trench. What deepest point on Earth was named, Gabby, for 2,000?
Philippine Deep.
Philippine Deep is wrong. What deepest point on Earth was named after the same ship that located it, that found it? That's the risk you take, Gabby, for answering too soon. Time is up. Gabby, would you know it?
Challenger Deep.
Yes, Challenger Deep. That could have given you extra 2,000. A better cushion from Krish and Vic who are trying to catch up with you. Challenger Deep is the name, or just Challenger was the name of the ship. Next question. Games and amusement, okay, in general information. What creation by Satoshi Tajiri of Japan is the world's highest grossing media franchise from video games and animated TV series, Gabby?
Nintendo.
Nintendo is wrong. Let me finish the question. What creation by Satoshi Tajiri of Japan is the world's highest grossing media franchise from video games and animated TV series to feature films and a trading card game? Vic?
Vanguard.
No. Krish? Name a game. No, it's very close. Pokemon. Pokemon. I thought you guys would know this, okay? Pokemon is something still very popular, even if it's been around for so long. Would you imagine $150 billion in revenue so far because of this franchise? Pokemon. Next question. We're halfway now through our final round, and this is in history. We're looking for dates of destiny. What famous conflict ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918? Gabby?
World War I.
Yes, of course, 1918, World War I. 1914 to 1918. The interesting thing there was how the 11s just keep on reappearing. 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, November 1918. And of course, this was World War I, or the First World War. We'll also consider the Great War. All right, our next question is a Bilyonaryo booster question. And the good news for Vic and Krish, who are trying to catch up with Gabby, is that this is now worth 4,000 points. Okay, you get this, you're so much closer now to Gabby in first place. Okay, this is in science and technology. We're looking for extreme machines. What massive machine in Europe is the world's largest refrigerator with a cryogenic system operating at temperatures colder than outer space? What is this massive machine in Europe? Temperatures colder than outer space. Gabby?
Large Hadron Collider.
Large Hadron Collider is the correct answer, or LHC. Oh, that was really important for Gabby, but mathematically speaking, it's still possible. Who knows? For Krish to catch up. And Vic, remember, 2,000 points for every correct answer. Let's go to our next question. Question number 9, art and literature. What is the art of beautiful writing with a brush or pen? Krish?
Calligraphy.
Yes, calligraphy is correct. From the Greek words kalos, which is beauty, and graphein, which is write.
Yeah.
Calligraphy. 2,000 points for you, 5,000 now for Krish. Question number 10. Just some mental math, no need to write this down. Listen in. What fraction in the lowest terms is equal to the repeating, non-terminating decimal 0.272727, where 27 is repeated down the line? What fraction?
1/9.
1/9? No, that's not correct. Krish?
1/7.
1 over 7 is also incorrect. Gabby, it's all yours if you want to. 0.27, 27, 27, where that 27 is repeated down the line. The answer, Gabby, what's your answer?
1/4.
No, 3 over 11. It's 3 over 11. So 27 over 99, you do the math, mental math, it's 3 over 11. Okay. Let's go to question number 11, and this is a picture question, which means I'll ask you to take a look at our screens. We'll give you a picture clue. I'll also give you a clue that I'll be mentioning. Let's take a look at this picture first. Okay, what great American city is shown here? Name this city, Gabby.
Seattle.
Why do you say it's Seattle?
It looks like the logo from the NBA team Seattle Supersonics.
Okay, that's an interesting way of getting that answer. That is the Space Needle. That's right. That's famous landmark of Seattle, and Seattle is the correct answer. Seattle in Washington State on the west coast of the United States. Very good. 15,000 now for Gabby. Krish, you have 5,000. Vic, you have 2,000. It's a bit too late to catch up with Gabby, no matter what you do. But of course, here's one thing you can do. You can take home more cash with you. All right? And of course, the fun memories of being here on BQB. Let's go to our last question. In general information, we're looking for names of food names, okay? What popular food product comes from a plant whose scientific name means food of the gods? What is that plant whose scientific name means food of the gods? Popular food product. Sometimes it's sweet. Gabby?
Fruitcake.
No. Iniisip mo yung food for the gods, di ba? Yung kinakain. Paano siyang fruitcake? No. Nectar? No. Vic? Masarap to. Yeah, chocolate. So 2,000 points for you, Vic. All right. Chocolate or cacao or cocoa. Okay. The cacao tree, by the way, the cocoa tree is a theobroma cacao, where theobroma translates to, in Greek, theo, broma, food for the gods. Okay? Theo, gods, broma, food. All right. Very good. Very good. So let's check out our scores. Of course, Krish, you go home with 5,000 pesos. And of course, a lot of fun memories of being here. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Vic, also not empty-handed, 4,000 pesos for you. And you guys showed really a tough fight in this particular competition. Up against this guy, he just had his hands quicker to the buzzer than the rest of you. Baka kailangan na mag-Dota at mag-Counter-Strike. That's all. Training for BQB. Congratulations. You take home a lot of money. And you can take home even more money in our next bonus round. And of course, you will qualify for what?
Semifinals.
The semifinals. All right. Where we meet the champions in the other weekly elimination rounds. All right. So when we come back, it's our weekly winner's time to take center stage. Bilyonaryo Quiz B will be right back. Welcome back to Bilyonaryo Quiz B. Well, one contestant, this contestant over here has emerged from the intense battle of minds and now steps into the bonus round now with 10 tough questions standing between him and glory. This is a true test of strategy, knowledge, under pressure. All right, which is something that you're used to with pressure. Because not only of your schoolwork, but of course, all the video games that you play, right? But,
yes.
So let's listen in to the mechanics of this bonus round.
Welcome to the Bilyonaryo bonus round, which is brought to you by Playtime Cares. Our weekly winners face off against a 60-second clock to answer 10 questions worth 3,000 pesos each. Once a question is asked, the contestant can either take their time to consider their best answer, or they can say pass and move on to the next one. After that, the question is discarded and will not be asked again, even if there is time left on the clock. To begin the bonus round, our weekly winners must first pick one of 3 mystery categories. Let's hope they choose wisely.
All right, not to put you under any pressure, but there's a lot of cash that can be won in this round. But remember, the most important thing is you already have a lot of cash with you, 15,000 pesos, and that one slot in our semifinals coming up next, okay? So, are you ready? Let's take a look at your 3 bonus categories. Choose one. All right, these were phrased in a way that is tricky, that is quite vague, but you'll find clues in each one of these titles. So, you complete me, perfect, and bookends.
You complete.
You complete me. Let's find out what that actually is. Okay, these are famous pairs and couples. Kaya you complete me, right? Famous pairs, famous couples, both real and fictional. So again, just 60 seconds. And remember, you have to give the name of the pair, meaning two names that make up that pair. If you're ready, let's go. In the fairy tale, they are lured by a witch to a gingerbread house.
Hansel and Gretel.
Comic superheroes dubbed the dynamic duo.
Pass.
Shakespeare's tragic young lovers from feuding families.
Romeo and Juliet.
Main pilot and co-pilot of the Millennium Falcon. Star
Pass.
Wars. They sang Bridge Over Troubled Water. The song, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
I don't know. Pass.
Popular screen names of Nora Aunor and Tirso Cruz III.
Pass.
Okay, panahon ng lolo mo yata to. They founded the search engine company Google. I'll give you just the last names. If you give the last names.
Bryn and Cooper.
Next question, orphaned Hawaiian girl and her alien friend from outer space. Recent
Lilo and
movie.
Stitch.
Fashion designers whose first names are Stefano and Domenico. Best friends and roommates on Sesame Street. Roommates sila. Puppets.
Elmo and Cookie Monster.
Roommates ba si Elmo and Cookie Monster? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what version you're watching online, but the one I grew up with was Ernie and Bert.
Okay, Ernie.
Kilala mo si Ernie and Bert, right? Okay, yung mga Gen Z yata iba yung frames of reference. But I think you got some right. Some couples are timeless and across generations. Hansel and Gretel is correct. Lured by a witch to a gingerbread house. I thought you'd get this. Comic superheroes dubbed the dynamic duo.
Superman, Batman.
Who?
Superman and Batman.
Superman and Batman? No, Batman and Robin.
Batman and
Okay. Hindi kasi siya video game, di ba? Hindi mo alam. Shakespeare's tragic young lovers, Romeo and Juliet is correct. Main pilot and the co-pilot of the Millennium Falcon. You know what the Millennium Falcon is?
Yeah.
Who was driving that spaceship?
Luke Skywalker.
Okay, you're not a Star Wars fan then. It was Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Okay. Good.
They sang the song "Bridge Over Troubled Water," at least the original. Paul Simon, and Art Garfunkel, or also known as Simon and Garfunkel. Popular screen names of Nora Aunor and Tirso Cruz. Anyone here in the audience who knows from our generation, Guy and Pip? I thought you'd notice because remember when Nora passed away, there's a lot of retrospective that came out, and Guy and Pip was one of the things that the news was reporting about. They founded a search engine company, Google. You said Bryn and
Cooper.
No, not Bryn and Cooper. Page and Bryn. Larry Page and Sergey Brin.
Sergey Brin.
Orphan Hawaiian girl and her alien friend, Lilo and Stitch. And fashion designers, Stefano and Domenico. Dolce and Gabbana. Not a lot of people know that, but now you do. And of course, Ernie and Bert, very popular roommates from Sesame Street. So 3 out of 10, that's 9,000 plus your 15,000, 24,000 pesos. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And best of all, we'll see you again, of course, in our upcoming semi-final round. That's right. This is another fantastic episode that has come to an end. So thank you all, especially to our amazing contestants for competing with heart and intellect, and of course to our supportive audience for being here with us all throughout. Now, if you want to support us, you can go online, follow us on our socials on FB, IG, and TikTok, which appears on the screen. Always remember, knowledge is your greatest asset. Remember that. Knowledge is your greatest asset, not your video games. Make sure to catch the next episode, our second semifinals of the season, featuring the winners of the past 3 competitions, including this man over here. Thank you so much. We'll see you all again on Bilyonaryo Quiz B.